2, 1. What's going on, you guys? My name is Nelson.
And I'm Devin.
And welcome back to the Qbox. Oh, man. Episode 7 is in the house, man. And man, I feel good, man. I don't know. How you feel, Devin?
I feel amazing, brother. Absolutely amazing. I can't believe, I can believe that we've made it to 7 episodes so far. But what I will say is, before we started this journey and through all the research that we did, historically, what we both learned is that most podcasts, I won't say most, but a lot of podcasts fail after their 7th episode or fail before even getting to 7 episodes. So it's almost like
it's crazy.
Yeah, it's almost like a marker, as you get to that 7th episode. If you can get there, which we've made it, then
episode 7.
I almost said the sky's the limit, but the limit's the sky, as you told me before.
Or
as you said on our podcast before. But I am super pumped. One thing I want to tell you, brother, and we say it to one another all the time off air, but it's time that I say it to you.
Okay.
I love you, brother.
Love you too, man. That's power, man. Love you too, my brother. Honestly,
I don't know what I would do without you, brother. Absolutely, man.
That means a lot, man. I have to say the same. We've experienced so many layers of our life. Not together as best friends, but at the same time together, whether it be physically or in spirit, somehow. But what's always interesting and what I love the most about our friendship, our brotherhood, and for me, it's bigger than a friendship. Our brotherhood, you know what I'm saying, is that I don't have to see you for 5 years, and I'll see you after 5 years and one day, and it's like I just saw you yesterday, man.
Absolutely, brother.
And I appreciate that, man. So I wasn't expecting you to say that, but that's powerful, man. I really, really appreciate that.
It's the truth. I said it before in previous episodes, but between both of us, I truly don't know, man, where I'd be without our friendship, because we keep one another aligned in so many ways.
Yes.
More than we could ever even explain in this podcast, more than honestly we could both even explain in the words to one another. But our friendship is more than genuine. It's organic, even from some of the feedback that I've heard from those that are listening to our podcast. I think that's the word that I've heard a couple times, or more than a couple times. You guys have a very good chemistry.
I've heard the same.
That word I've heard. I've heard your conversations. You can tell are very organic, and it truly is. And like I said before on the other episode, meaning our last episode, this is truly how we talk, and it's beautiful to be able to hook up a microphone to our laptops, sit down again, as you said, you're across a pond, big ass pond.
Look. You just go this way, and then boom, you travel to your world.
Right? Exactly. For both of us to just again have this dialogue, these multiple layers of dialogue, and as we're continuing to help people along the way, as well as help ourselves, is an absolute beautiful thing. So
it's a magical process, honestly, man. Yes, go ahead. Sorry.
It is. No. You're good, brother. We both start.
We like
talking.
To get our point across. Yeah.
We like to get our point across, but it's just because we're excited.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I do, brother. I know I already said it, but I love you to death, brother.
Thank you so much, man.
Two different brothers from another mother, but it almost seems like we came out of the same womb.
Yeah, sometimes. It's crazy, man. Even with my mom, it's the same process. She's like, "Papi, hey."
Right. Same. Look, same thing with my mama D.
Yeah, my mama D, your mama D.
Right. Your mama D, my mama D. But no, I'm excited to jump into part 2, as we promised last week.
Yes, absolutely.
And really just kind of shed light on some more things that we didn't get a chance to, I guess, unravel or discuss in our first episode, because there's just a lot that we could cover, and hopefully we get a lot of that, I don't want to say off our chest, but we get a lot of our thoughts out there in the open.
Definitely. So. And, speaking of that, if this is your first time watching our podcast, please do us a favor and subscribe to our podcast or our YouTube channel, where you can always be notified whenever we are busting out new content. Guys, we're working every single day. I'll say almost every single day, because we have so much things going on, but we are really extremely dedicated to this podcast, and there's not a day that goes by that we don't highlight potential more content ideas, and things that we need to talk about and touch on that's going to just move help move the world in a better direction. I think we are in a position at this point in life where it's with this whole pandemic where we need to come together, man. Like, it's just so important that we do that and think
Absolutely,
about the
bro.
bigger picture. Like, this is more now, because now we're being pulled away from each other. So I think that when, this happening is just going to give us the opportunity to appreciate those times we didn't, um, exhaust when it came, when it comes to just appreciating the little things. And, so, regarding that whole situation, just definitely keep that in your heart and your soul. Like, we are here to put a smile on the face. We're here to make you laugh. And if you cry, I'm sorry. It's because we were emotional. We touched on something that touched us too. So if you cry with us or, whatever, like, just welcome to our journey. So.
Absolutely. I think before you started, said something about captains. Didn't you say? Right before we hit record.
Yeah. I was, yeah, exactly. I was just saying that, what's so cool for me is that, whenever we get back into our chairs, I always get so excited. I grab our water or our wine or our beer. Like, if we're doing a podcast and we just want to sip a little bit, and the first thing I say is like, it feels so good to be back in the captain's chair. And I'm like, two captains in a chair. That's a beautiful thing. You know what I mean? So it feels like that.
We're flying the plane and we're just flying to
correct
wherever we can go. Because
absolutely,
as we say, the sky is not the limit.
So. Never. There's so many stars out there in the universe, and we are definitely not limited in terms of where we can go if we really put our souls and minds and our consciousness into those thought processes. So, but
I think you brought up a good point when you say thought processes.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
You know us. Each time you say something, my mind is already going to the next thing. It's just hilarious because we're both talking. Mm-hmm. You're already thinking of your next question. It's almost like waiting. It's like our questions are waiting in line. We
do always do that to each other.
Right. It's like you're waiting to get a ticket. And it's like, well, wait a minute. I got another question. But
a lot of this stuff is not scripted. So like, a lot of this
absolutely isn't.
Improvisation. We have an idea what we're going to talk about, but like, sometimes I'm not expecting their questions, so I think that's really cool. Makes it fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I said this already. This is truly how we talk.
Yep.
Offline. I can't, even for us, how many times have we said we should be recording right now?
It's
almost every day.
Every single time we get on the phone.
Every time we get on the phone, like, we should be recording right now.
Damn.
Because it's such, for us, at least we think, and I'm pretty sure it is, it's good content.
Absolutely.
But what came to my mind when you mentioned what you just said a minute ago, thought process, and hopefully I'm saying the right thing. That's what you said. But what came to my mind is the power of meditation. Okay,
that's a beautiful topic. That's a big one.
And the reason why I say that is because you had an event that happened in your life. Not the biggest event, but I think it's still something that you should shed light on in terms of the power of meditation. And that's something that I personally am trying to get into. I've started, but I haven't really dove into it as much as I want to. I've got a couple books on meditation, but you explained to me a couple of days ago about a way that you were able to use meditation to get through a situation in your life. So if you could share that, brother, that would be awesome.
Absolutely. Well, I definitely wasn't expecting you to ask that, but just being honest, but
call me Mr. Unpredictable.
Hello. Yellow. Right. No. Yellow.
YOLO or yellow?
I have no idea. Right. It's like tomato.
Right.
No, great question. I think before I even get into the meat and potatoes of that experience, I definitely want to shed light on the fact that it was just a life-changing experience for me. There's so many things that's going on in the world right now that we obviously know. Everybody is experiencing their own bit of turmoil, their own setbacks, their own, a lot of hardship and struggle and different layers. Some people have, and I'm being honest with you, within the past year, I'm just being completely transparent with you, my brother. Like, a few of my friends were saying they got cancer, and
Wow, I didn't know that.
it broke my heart, man, to hear this. You're so young. How do you have cancer?
Yeah,
And God bless, and I thank God every day. My brother had cancer, and he
I
survived
do
it, bro.
remember. I
You were there.
remember.
You remember that time.
Oh, I remember.
You remember that time it was really hard for me, that's one thing. My brother's your brother, so like,
Oh, absolutely,
he's little Rob,
absolutely.
like how I would say little Rob. Oh, sorry, I'm saying his name, but
Right.
that's my brother. I love my brother. I'm showing my brother off right now. Sorry if I put your name on blast, brother, but it's okay. You know, I didn't give him the social, so
I didn't give him the address. I didn't give him the social. So anything I'm leaving
yeah,
out. I didn't give him what color shirt he had on today.
right, exactly. I didn't, Anyway, so not going so far off, but like there's so many people that are going through something extremely tough in their life, and uh, so sometimes you need to take a step back and really find a way to get through it. And every situation is obviously different. This is obvious things. Um, and so for me, I've been through a lot of things in my life, but this was just a special one. And I say that because I it's very minute, but at the same time, there was a greater lesson I was learned. I uh, went without hot water in the cold for 1 month, and um, you know, it was challenging for me. I was starting not to like taking a bath,
You're
but
like,
I took baths anyway. I had to take baths
should I
anyway.
wait a week, take a
No,
bath? What's too
exactly.
long?
You have to, I was like, forget this, man. This is some BS right now. Like,
Right.
damn, man. Like, but uh, and it troubled me. It was supposed to be like a 1 week procedure where they come in, take a look. They came in, and then had a look at what was going on with the water situation, and then yeah, next thing you know, we didn't hear from them for like almost a month.
Wow.
Literally a month. I say a month and a couple of days. And so everything is for a reason, and everything is for a reason, Devin. I cannot stress that enough, because even my really good friend here in Germany, she was like, listen, it's that's not like them to do that. So let's go ahead and give them a call, probably, and
Right.
figure out what the heck is going on. Because I'll be transparent. Like, my German is good. My German's good. Is getting better and better every single day. But being in a foreign country, guys, this is no game. This is another life lesson I had to experience. But I'll get into that again, in a minute, and at a later time.
Yep.
You're learning a language and having to deal with simple tasks, and or ask for
I think
specific.
also, and not to
Mhm.
cut you off, brother. I
No, no
think
worries.
also adjusting to the culture. So
Absolutely.
even outside of the language, and I know
Mm-hmm.
you shed light on a previous episode where we talked
Mm-hmm.
about the difference of living in the States compared to living in Germany. And
Correct.
obviously, this can go with any country in the world outside of your country that you're from.
Correct.
So I think just to, if you will, give yourself a pat on the back, brother, to
Oh, thank
adjust
you, man.
to the language as well as the culture itself. Even though Germany is absolutely beautiful, I know,
Yeah,
as I mentioned before,
it is.
my stepfather was stationed in Germany, I think twice. My mother had the opportunity to go to Germany. I haven't been yet, but yeah. But anyway, it
That's gonna
just
be
made me
fun.
think.
That's gonna be so much
Oh,
fun.
I'm super pumped, brother. I'm super pumped.
Mm-hmm.
But I think just to quickly touch on how you said the
Mm-hmm.
language, you also have had to adjust to the culture, and there are some
Yeah.
cultural differences. I think, and this is just random, and then I'm gonna let you get back to
Yeah. Sure.
where
Sure.
you were going in terms of the meditation and
Yep.
how that helped you get through, as you said, your recent event, or as I said, and this is just a random fact that you told me the other day about the wedding band. You said the wedding band for people that are married over there is not worn on the left
Oh
finger;
yeah.
it's
Yeah.
worn
Yeah.
on the right. Didn't know
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
thought that was just for those that don't know, including myself.
Yeah.
Because you had a ring on your left finger, And I was like, oh, bro, you might want to switch it over to the right. You said, well,
Right.
no, actually,
It works the other way around
it
here.
works the other way around there.
Yeah, I
Didn't
tell
know
you,
that.
that's the first thing I noticed. Obviously I'm wearing it on the left hand now. I it was well, it's no. To be honest with you, I just switched it now because I was like, oh yeah, this is a perfect example. I was like,
But it doesn't matter.
I was like,
You're right. You're
that's
indoors
right.
now. Right.
Yeah. Anyway, we're honest here. We don't care. We just we
Yeah.
tell it how it is. But anyway,
Absolutely, brother.
that's the first thing I noticed when it came to marriage. It's everything's on the right hand side, which I think logically makes sense. I guess marriage. Let's do things the right way, right hand, right this. But again, it's just culture. So who knows? I mean, there's obviously a reason behind it, but we're not going to get into that right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, interesting stuff, man. There's just, again, going back to the culture,
Absolutely,
it's just
brother.
so many things to understand. So going back to that, like I never really I didn't understand why it was taking so long to get my warm water again. And so that did something for me, Devin. That did something really, really interesting for me. I was always aware of meditation. Every day, just getting up in the morning, 5-10 minutes of your day, and just taking the time for yourself to really breathe deep and seek peace. Always.
Yep.
Shout out to Mr. Parker. You know who he is. And who actually gave me this when I was going through a tough time in my life. Yeah, we'll have him on here soon. He has an incredible story. Was in the U.S. Marines, and
wow.
really, has an incredible story, man. You've spoke to him
Yep.
quite a few times. Of course, not as much as myself, but
Yep.
but he's definitely he has the gift to touch people, and I think at some point we need to bring him on as a guest, and
For sure.
and go ahead and do that for with him. So, but anyway, let's get to the point. Sorry, guys. I know we have a way of jumping sometimes, but
Yep.
welcome to our podcast.
Welcome to our conversation. This is what happens.
Yeah, we have so much to talk about, so we get excited. And anyway, so it was driving me absolutely mad. Why is it taking so long for me to get warm water? There's obvious reasons. It could have been because they were backed up. They didn't have enough. They were just had too many customers. They had too much. They didn't have enough staff. I don't know. I had no idea. I didn't know exactly what was wrong. But the fact that it was happening, and me knowing from experience and also from other people's experiences that this is not normal, I started to think a little bit deeper in terms of why this was happening to me. And so I said to myself, okay, what do I do? Do I continue to stay in turmoil? Or do I embrace the situation for what it is and I become one with it and find a way to breathe deep and seek peace, in a sense, with this situation? And so it was causing me discomfort. Ice cold water. It wasn't even like room temperature, dude. It was like ice cold water.
I couldn't imagine, brother.
So I started doing my research. I wanted to find a way. I just wanted to be great, to become a better version of myself anyway. But like, I stumbled across an amazing soul. Is Wim Hof. He's
Sounds European.
yeah, he's from I believe he's Dutch. If I remember correctly, and he's an amazing soul, an amazing thinker. Unfortunately, what led him to this journey to where he is now, he lost his wife for unfortunate reasons. I'm not sure exactly, specifically what happened. Maybe she died of something. I can't remember off the top of my head, so I don't want to misquote that. But she, it just put him in a place. He lost his wife. Somebody he adored so much. So he started, really finding ways to try to better himself, the human body, how to become a greater version of yourself. And then he stumbled across some things along his journey where, with meditation, the ability to heal the mind, the body, and the soul, and through meditation. So This man, they call him the Iceman, and they call him Iceman because,
Iceman. Okay.
and I'll tell you why they call him this. He has the world Guinness, record of, being able to stay, in very cold temperatures and still be able to maintain his body weight, body heat, without going into hypothermia and without dying. And so what he does is there's this breathing method that he discovered along his journey. We can research it. We'll leave some links below in the description.
Yep.
To this amazing soul. And what he basically does, he takes he'll sit there. They'll put him in a very cold environment. Let's say they put him in a sort of like a small pool of ice.
Yep.
And he starts doing his breathing method. So basically what he does is 30 breaths. He takes 30 breaths. So he goes and he does it in this rhythm 30 times. And bro, what happens to the body is absolutely amazing. Okay. This man, and I felt it. And he's explaining to you what you're experiencing as you're reaching that 30 breath mark. You're going to feel lightheaded. This is normal. This is completely okay. You're basically making the body become alkaline, which basically means that you're making the body less acidic, which is what we naturally are based on our dietary habits. Okay. And so when we're eating, shit, okay, things we shouldn't be eating, things that just don't make sense, right? There's a lot of acidic properties in there. So, sometimes we have to reverse the damage. And so we do that by trying to eat better, and so he did it. He basically proposed that through breathing, through meditation, you can reverse the acidic properties in the body and make your body completely alkaline from head to toe.
That's amazing. It's amazing, brother.
Through breathing. Okay. And he was able to prove how powerful and effective this was, because he literally was able to tell the mind and the body and the soul to control the body temperature in his body. This is why he was able to stay in very cold environments. So I was really intrigued by that. And I've been studying him for a while. So I already knew about this already.
How did you find him? Was it something you researched? How did you find him, brother?
Yeah, because I'm really interested in meditation and just becoming more self-aware, not being completely yogi or something like this, but and I'm not knocking anybody that's in that yoga lifestyle, but for me, I'm taking a different approach to being a balanced Nelson, for example. So
multiple levels of meditation.
Correct. So there's definitely, and I'm definitely understanding many different layers, and but I haven't discovered them all. So obviously I'm open book. My cup is always empty for knowledge to be filled inside. So definitely.
Absolutely, brother.
You know what I mean? So yeah, basically, I came across him from just doing research on him, and not on him, but just on how to become better. And his story was just really interesting. He was on the Guinness Book of World Records. He started being studied, because he was just doing things that the human body doesn't normally do, because they're not tapped into their true potential self. You understand? And and so he was even on I can't remember the name, the comic book. When they had the superhumans on TV, people that have extraordinary
Incredibles.
No, this is their actual it was from the maker of Marvel Comics.
My mind.
You know what I'm talking about?
No. Of course, obviously, you said Marvel. Shit. You said Marvel, didn't you? And I went right to Pixar Incredibles. So no. Take that away what I said. So.
No, don't worry about it. Anyway, he's great man. So basically, what I ended up doing was I said, let me just do this breathing exercises so I can actually try to enjoy a shower and a bath and just be okay with it. I felt like I was stripped of comfort, and stripped of my current state. Literally, I felt like I was stripped of everything. And I know it's not extreme for me. For me, there's deeper layers and reasons behind that, why that happened. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And because I was going through a lot of other things in life, so when things just go left, and you just kind of, where it gets bad, it gets worse sometimes. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
At least it feels like that, and until we are looking at it from a point of view of, okay, there's a reason why that happened to me. You know what I mean? And so,
I heard some not too long ago,
mhm.
and this has helped me just personally to look at things happening, even if it's a negative scenario,
Mhm.
similar to what you're saying. And I say negative. I mean, however you want to put that in your own words, but you
Right.
have to look at it from a lens of things are happening for you, even though that is
Correct.
so challenging to say.
Oof, that's some deep shit,
It's
bro.
it's happening for you. To say,
Yes.
okay, well, man, okay, my car broke down. How,
Hmm.
to look through that lens and say, well, how is that happening for me?
Yeah.
Somehow it's happening for you. Maybe maybe your car broke down because there was an accident that you could have been in.
Correct. Yes. Especially when
So,
you're
so
late,
you're, so
right?
you
When you're late
exactly,
to a meeting,
maybe wherever you're going, doesn't
wherever.
matter. Meeting, grocery store, and your car breaks down. You're like,
Crazy.
oh my goodness, this is the worst day alive.
It fucking sucks. But when you realize later that somebody, as you're driving past, um, uh, when you're driving to your meeting and then you notice an accident on the left side of you, and you're like, damn. First thing that comes to the mind and the consciousness is, excuse me, that could have been me.
Absolutely.
So maybe it was smart that you didn't rush that process. And this just gives more highlight onto why we're here. You understand?
Truly, brother. Truly.
So just to wrap up the story, I had to spend 30 days, 30 nights in this situation. And I'm the type of person, I need to take a shower because I'm active. I like working out. I like running. I like riding my bike. I need
You
to take
like
a
feeling
shower.
clean.
I like to take a shower, brother. Every day, you know?
Every day.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
it's got to be every day for me. I just got to feel clean, man.
For
And
sure. For sure.
so I had to. And this is something I know you guys are gonna laugh when you hear this, but like, as you're hearing us talk about this right now, but it's some real shit, man. Like when it's taken from you, you're like, damn, dude, that sucked.
No, when I'll let you finish, and then
Yeah, 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 yeah. Let's get. Yeah, we'll
I'll
get.
share my
We'll
thoughts
no
after.
worries.
But go ahead.
So basically, we got to wrap up that part because we've been on. You know how we going. So. Uh, so yeah, basically, what happened was I struggled with that. I didn't know when they were gonna come, so I had to figure out a way, sort of like, and it sounds ridiculous, but I had to do it because I didn't like the cold, man. It hurt. It was hurting. I couldn't. You get that ice. It's okay. There's one thing when it's room temperature water on you. There's another thing when it's ice cold water on you, where you have to like, the first thing that does when
Yeah.
the cold water hits your body, you just go into
It's almost like when you're getting into a cold pool,
yes,
or
yes,
cold
yes, yes.
lake, or cold ocean in your body. You feel that
Exactly.
shock.
Exactly. So I had to figure out a way to overcome that obstacle because it was hindering me from enjoying the shower, you
Yeah.
know? Okay. So I said, I gotta do something. I said, let me figure it out. And then I said, okay, you know what? Let me just maybe I do perfect. Wim Hof is known for being able to control his body temperature inside very, very cold environments. And he does it through this protocol of breathing exercises that are highly effective in terms of, again, I say it again, making the body alkaline, but also allowing the body and the mind to become a healing property, for self. And it makes you more aware. So, and yeah, it just makes you become more in control of the body and the mind and the soul. So I started breathing again. You have to do it in a rhythm. It's like music. Yeah. This is why
Yeah.
I loved it so much. I fell in love with it because I'm a musician. I
You
wanted
fell in
to,
love with taking cold showers?
not that part, but I'll explain
Okay.
later.
All right.
Yeah,
Just want to make
yeah.
sure.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. I did learn to love it after I discovered that. I'll be real with you, but that's another. Give me a second. So, I I was like, you know what, man? Like, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Keep this rhythm as music, you know? So I started thinking of my favorite song, the most beautiful song that, music that I used to grow up on. I'm pretty sure if I name a few, you know what I'm saying? Like, people relate, you know what I mean? Some Stevie Wonder records, some Michael Jackson songs, Beatles, you know what I'm saying? Al Green, like I started thinking of the most beautiful, effortless, timeless music in my life when I was going through these breathing exercises. And man, as soon as I was reaching that 30 breath point, I got up, I felt so naturally high, bro. I felt so beautiful. I felt there was a cooling sensation. I'll explain it. There's a cooling sensation that goes throughout the entire body while you're breathing. That's basically meaning that the oxygen levels in your body are extremely at capacity. You're starting to feel a strong healing take place, and
Yeah.
this is the indication that your body is alkaline. Okay, you're a little bit lightheaded. It's like you're getting literally high off your own supply, as he would say. Literally, and I think that's so. The way he said it made me laugh so much, man. Like, so freaking cool, honestly. And yeah, it just made me laugh. And then I started doing it. I got in the shower, and I would start hitting specific points of the body. I noticed right away which parts of my body within that process was very sensitive the moment of impact. And I noticed my back was the most sensitive, immediately sensitive. It would hurt the most if I started there. So I noticed for me, if I start from the head or from the lower part of the body, I can start there, and then it's immediately sending a signal to the body and the mind that it's okay. It's gonna be fine. Just breathe in and breathe out. And I started breathing in again as I hit the cold water's hitting my body and out, and then I started really, really seeing the body become calm to the idea.
It's crazy.
And then next thing you know, I swear to you, bro, I cannot be any more real. It felt like I was taking a warm shower.
That's crazy. It's powerful, brother.
Yeah, literally.
It's
I didn't
powerful,
care
man.
about the cold anymore. And it felt so nice. What did that teach me? A lot.
That's crazy, brother. I'm processing it all.
Yeah.
No.
It taught me a lot. And I'm no guru when it comes to this, guys. I'm no expert by any means, but I just know my life journey when I've experienced that method.
I think it also what came to my mind is being in tune with your own body.
Correct.
Being in tune with self.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Which is a challenge for a lot of people, and I think
we're learning it every day. Yeah.
We're learning it every day, and in that moment, you became in tune with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Through the meditation, through the breathing, to allow your body, even though what is hitting your body is cold, to make your body in a state of warmth.
Right. Exactly.
Is incredible, but it also displays the power of the mind.
Couldn't say it. I couldn't say it better. Absolutely, man.
It's so powerful, brother. So powerful.
And guys, if you remove the complexity of what happened, it just and you're outside looking in, it was a man that just did not have any hot water for 1 month. But if you take the time to smell the flowers, to understand the experience, and usually what brings the experience is often the turmoil that comes with that experience within that moment in time. This brings self-awareness for a reason. Pain is designed for a reason. Not that I want it every single day. I don't fucking want it at all, to be honest. It sucks, dude. It sucks.
But it also, pain helps you grow.
Yeah, not that I'm a fan of it, but unfortunately and fortunately, it does do this. Yeah, and so, guys, I made it through. I got warm water. I took the warmest bath, the other day, and it was a fucking luxury, dude. And I have a really nice place, like I love where I'm living, it's very peaceful here, and Um, it was just that BS that caused me some trauma. But there's a life lesson that came along with that, and it's to really just appreciate the little things, man. And you know, just take everything with a grain of salt, and you know, breathe, smell the fresh air. My friend said this in the Netherlands. I love her so much. She's the most beautiful
Couldn't
human
say it
being.
any better, brother.
She's the most beautiful human being in the world. I'll mention her if she allows me to next time. But one of the most beautiful human beings I've ever met in my life. She's absolutely, her soul is beyond this world, man. And she told me, Nelson, you're one of the most talented musicians that I've ever had the opportunity to converse with. Your ability to create things out of thin air musically are just astounding. Um, but just do me a favor. I said, what's that? Just take a little moment sometimes to smell the fresh air, smell the flowers. You might see something, smell something that triggers a new part of you that's supposed to grow. Just take your time, enjoy it. Oh
Which
my,
is also another meditative state.
correct. You know, and
Focusing on something, smelling something,
right,
almost puts you in a trance.
correct. And that was just freaking whoa for me, man. I was like, damn, dude. So anyway, with that being said, that was fun. It was a good time. So
And that concludes the podcast.
yeah, I know.
All right, we're done.
Yeah, exactly. No, you know, yeah. I mean, so just going back, you know, I think this really
Oh
just
man,
segues
that's
into
good stuff.
our, yeah, definitely. It just segues into our, you know, our concept of, you know, why we're here. You know, it's just so many reasons for that, and this is just one layer of billions of reasons. And you know, just from my opinion, what do you think, D?
Absolutely. I mean, clearly we could dive a lot further into meditation. And again, I am a very new when it comes to meditating and
Right.
get back. I don't want to say get back, get into it. I haven't got into it yet, you know, but you know,
Hmm.
trying to get better at meditating. But yes, when we're talking about why we're here, there's, again, this is part two where there's so many reasons. And I know on our last episode, I mentioned, you know, what comes to my mind, at least one word is purpose.
Correct.
But I guess for me, brother, would be a question just to kind of follow up on that, since we said we would definitely continue this topic, is when did you realize there's a reason for you being here?
Yeah, I say the moment.
Or even felt?
Yeah, for sure. I say the moment that I realized my ability to sing, and to express myself through a musical form. You know, um, I knew right away there was healing properties to this concept of music. This beautiful sounds of music when I'm listening, when I'm creating, when I'm meeting other like-minded individuals that share the same journey. You really, once you become a part of this sort of community that enables you to see yourself in a different mirror, so to say, because we're all mirrors of each other, right? Um,
Absolutely.
you know, like there's things in you that I see in me, and vice versa. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Sure.
and and so like as soon as I realized that I had a gift to sing, you know, which was thank God at a very young age. I mentioned in the last episode where I was a child and I was singing to my damn toys, you know, the
Yeah.
song Ben, which ended up becoming my son's name, and I didn't really think about this till later. I was like, oh my God, my son's name is Ben, you
Yeah.
know.
What's crazy when you mention it, because
Yeah,
like
I
putting
wanted to
two and
name
two
him
together.
Nelson. I wanted to name him a Nelson Jr. You know,
Mm-hmm.
his
Mm-hmm.
mom wasn't having it. He said, "You guys always do that in the United States. You know, that's too much. You know, you got to give him his own identity. Don't be a weirdo. You know." No, she didn't say that. She's gonna kill me. But I'm just kidding.
Well, don't. You might want to stop what you're saying now, because I need my other captain. Okay, you can't go
Yeah,
nowhere yet.
I know. No, but no. All jokes aside, she was a good sport. My son's mother, and she's like, "Listen, I understand this is a U.S. tradition. It's totally cool, but yeah, you know, we want our kid to have his own identity. You know what I mean?" And so we decided, you know what, let's just go ahead and make it where he has his own name. So we gave him Ben, which means the son of, in Persian, which is in a Persian culture.
Well,
Ben means son of, and then Nelson. So Nelson being the
okay.
middle name, Ben being Ben, uh, in Persian meaning Ben, son of Nelson Ortiz. So it's just the perfect last name to have.
Yeah, yeah.
Excuse me, the name to have in this situation. And so I said, you know what? Then we'll give him two names, Ben Nelson. So this is my baby. This is my little dude, man. Like,
Yep.
got like, and I'll be transparent with you guys. This is a show and podcast of real shit. All right. Um, you know, we're not really fond of putting them on social media or anything at this point. Like, we just really believe in the privacy of our son.
For
And
sure, brother.
so
Absolutely.
until he makes a decision on his own where he wants to be on social media, then he can do that, rightfully so. And so, I'm pretty sure. What is your vibe on that, D?
Um, in terms
In
of
terms of
just
you, how to like going reversing it back to you,
yeah. Meaning, when did I realize?
realize just your whole thought, yeah, everything, brother.
For sure, for sure. And I know I've said this before, but I would say and I can't say it enough. I've always had the ability to make people smile, and I think that's just something that was just natural for me.
Right.
And again, when I was 8, and I mentioned this, 8, 9, give or take, I felt like probably 9 is when it came to me about, like, man, I could maybe be a preacher. And I
I still
mentioned
can't
that,
believe that shit, man.
right? I
I'm sorry.
know,
I'm saying
and
preacher and shit. Sorry, but
right.
oh, you gonna do? Sorry about that, guys.
But I realized, right, cheers.
I'm just kidding. Sorry. Well, whatever. I just dig myself a hole there, guys. I do apologize in advance.
but no, I would say, again, brother, getting back to what I said, I did realize just my ability to touch people at a young age, which, put in my head about potentially looking to being a preacher, but it's just the ability to make people laugh. And I can't say that's my only reason for being
Right.
here, but I do know I just love doing it.
Yeah,
It,
for sure.
it is so euphoric to me to watch people smile and laugh. Even, and the ones that are even better is when people don't really want to laugh, or maybe they're not really, don't really have a comedic side to them, and I still pull it out of them.
You
I'm like,
cracking the smile. Yeah, I
right,
know.
I got you.
Yeah.
I know you didn't want to laugh, but I still got you. So,
Yeah.
but I would definitely say at a young age, I've always had my mother laughing. I've always had my brother laughing. I've always had my entire family laughing. Talking about 6, 7 years old, just at that young of an age, making people laugh, hysterically, to where they're like, Devin, stop. Like, I can't take it no more. I'm like, and the more you tell me stop, I'm not going to stop. I'm like, nope, now I got you. So
Yeah, no, totally.
once you give me a smile, if you give me one smile or even a smirk, I know I got you.
That's all you need. Yeah.
That's all I need. But no, I would say it definitely was when I was younger when I realized my reason for being here. And again, I know I'm using just comedy and laughter, but there is a purpose, as I mentioned on the last episode.
Mm-hmm.
And as I grow, I continue to find new purposes for why I'm here.
Yeah.
And it truly is to brightest people's day as much
Yeah.
as I can. And again, is my day always bright, as I've mentioned before? Absolutely not. But
Right.
that is where others that are around me, or my inner circle, as I've said before,
Mm-hmm.
uplift me. And on those days where they're down, or maybe they're just frustrated or whatever it may be, I come back and uplift them. So it
Can I
truly
ask you a
works.
question there in regards to that?
Yes, sir.
Sorry to cut you off.
No problem, brother.
I mean, what do you feel like, if because just your interaction with people? What do you feel people think of you when you're doing that? Like, what do you feel most people think about you when you are doing that?
I would have to say, I would hope that most
Mm-hmm.
people know then and now that I'm truly genuine.
Amen.
And for the most part about
It's
me,
real. Facts.
I can't be fake. And my mother knows when she listens to this,
I know, mama. I know,
I
mama.
get
That's my
right,
mama too,
exactly.
brother.
Right, no, right, exactly,
That's my
brother.
mama too, brother.
But I know I get that from her in terms of not being able to be fake. That's definitely a gene, whether, as I say, nature or nurture.
Yes, sir.
But I definitely know I get that from her. So with that being said,
Mm-hmm.
I am who I am. I love to
Right.
make people smile. I've never let that, because again, I've been around people that are like, okay, well, this dude stopped making jokes. I'm over it. And
Have you really felt that though, honestly?
oh yeah, I've felt people where you kind of give you that eye, like, okay, either this guy's not that funny or whatever the case may be,
Or,
which rarely happens.
I'm
But
a hater, and it's okay. I could be a hater. I'm a hater.
right, exactly, exactly, brother,
I'm hating, but don't
exactly,
realize it. You know.
exactly. But I would say,
That's funny
getting
though.
back to what you asked, brother, I would hope that most people know that I'm truly genuine.
Mm-hmm.
I know I mentioned before, as I get older, and even when I was younger, I truly just love being around people. I love learning new perspectives. And again, at the end of the day, just making someone laugh and making someone smile.
Right.
But yeah, how do you feel about that?
No, I'm in
For
agreement with
yourself,
you.
that is.
Yeah, absolutely. I, I really self-analyze a lot, especially being here in a foreign country, or opposed to being at home in New York or anywhere in the United States. You know, at this point, like ever since I moved to Europe, the first thing I noticed was, man, life is a lot different out here, and so um, first thing I'm thinking about is, what do people think about me now? That's the first thing I think about, to be honest with you. Whereas before, living and being back home, I didn't really give a shit, because we're very all, we all speak the same language. We all have this,
Yep.
very similar cultural understandings, and um, but just being uh, in a foreign country, you really take that a lot more serious in terms of how you approach the thinking of that. What do people think about me out here? I'm pretty sure they're like, this guy's just left, you
Right.
know. That's and this and this is just an extreme case of that, right? But like,
Right.
um, but what I found, thankfully so, I found right away, people took a liking to me, and it really made me so happy. Like whenever I go to like a local lounge here or something like this, or you know, I feel like people are really gravitated towards the energy of me, because I really, I don't sugarcoat, anything. I just say things the way they are, and I'm not BSing anyone. I'm just, hey, I'm a great person. If you wanna get these hands, hands meaning a hug, not these I'm gonna knock you out hands,
All
but
right.
if you want to get this hug,
Yeah.
these hands of hugs,
Yep.
I'm here for you, and I'm here to put a smile on your face. That's all it is. People started really gravitating towards me, and of course you have your haters. You have people that are just cold, and don't understand you. And this
But
is always
they don't like themselves.
this is exactly what that.
Okay.
Yeah, that could be a lot of reasons,
For
or they've just had a.
for the most part, I'm not saying
Mm-hmm.
that's always the case,
Correct.
but
Yeah.
a lot of times for those that are hating on other people, they don't
Mm-hmm.
like themselves. And going back to what I mentioned earlier, being in tune with yourself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Or maybe they don't have a purpose. And I'm not saying this is the case for those that are hating on
Right.
people,
Right. Right.
but what I've learned in my life, it feels like a lot of times those people just they don't like themselves. So it's like, okay, I'm going to pick on someone else. So,
Yeah. Exactly.
but
I mean, I always try to just, take everything, again, going back to that concept, take everything with a grain of salt. You have to do it, bro. You have to do it.
absolutely, brother.
There's this stuff is not said for no reason. I walk into a room, and I'll tell you something. If you know your intention, this all goes back to the whole quantum leaping of things, where we
Yep.
talked about water and things like that. Um, if you know your intention, if you see your current state, and you know where your intention wants to be, okay,
Yep.
you can manifest that. So if you know your intention, you bring that right away to that current state, right there, right now, and you say, you know what? I'm here to have a good time. I'm here to put a smile on your face. I'm here to um, touch somebody today. I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever will be, will be, And so if you walk into that room of complicated, I wouldn't say complicated. It's just because, there's a lot of cases where people just don't know. It's just a lack of knowing something, Devin. People just
True,
don't know
brother.
because they were never,
True.
they're not there yet, bro.
True, brother.
But there are some people that are just dumb and ignorant and they do know. And you want to smack them in the back of the head, dummy. What are you doing, bro? You know better. The hell's the matter with you? You know what I mean? You know better. What the hell are you doing?
Right.
And this facts. It's facts. And you have to walk in the room with your intention already known. And I promise you, and I recently posted something. I can't remember exactly how I worded it, but I said, as a matter of fact, give me a second. I'll pull it up here on another computer here.
Yeah, pull it up.
Yeah, I believe I said something very similar. I said, give me one moment here. I'll find it quickly.
Yeah.
It's just basically,
you're on a time clock. You got 30
yeah,
seconds.
Yeah.
Right.
So basically, it's just sometimes, and this is why I don't remember sometimes, because sometimes I just word things and I don't realize what I'm saying. I just flow in this direction.
As we would say, free flowing. So.
Yeah, exactly. Free flowing, and I'm just flowing in a direction where I'm happy, and so I said basically, okay, perfect. I find it. Live, feel, breathe, good ass energy every single day, and watch the world around you change.
Absolutely powerful, brother.
Manifestation, and it works, bro. It works. I can't, D. Like,
Yeah,
do it every day.
Exactly, brother.
That's why I love you so much, because, like, as my brother, like, I know there's a lot of things that I if I'm going through something in life, I know there's a lot of things about me. If I'm struggling with it, you'll know how to handle it. You know how to deal with it because you've probably been through something similar. And so, like, that's why I really value our conversation. I value your thoughts. And if you tell me, brother. Yeah, if you tell me, yo, now that shit's off, my dude.
Right, I'll tell you, just like you tell me, like,
yeah.
But what for us, just keeping on the top of our friendship is, we're not afraid to tell one another something we don't want to hear. Okay.
Correct.
I think it's having a friend that agrees with you on every damn thing.
Correct.
That's help with your growth. Okay.
Correct.
Sometimes you gotta, nip a friend or a family member in the bud and say, hey, no, this you need to look at it from this angle. Or maybe you should try to look at it from this angle.
Correct.
And we both have always done it with one another, where it's like, okay, you know what? I didn't think about looking at it that way. Even if it's, in our previous relationships that we've had, and I'm like, bro, you probably said this. And you're like, okay, that is probably why that person got upset. And vice versa with me. You'll come back and be like, bro, did you think about how you could have said it this way? And I'm like, no, I didn't. But again, it just helps with our growth and development as friends, as individuals, because as we've stated before, no one is perfect. It doesn't exist. So you can get it out of your mind. If you're looking for, whether it's a friend, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a marriage, which obviously relationship and marriage go hand in hand, it doesn't exist. Okay. But what you can try to do, which is what we're doing now through our podcast, even when we're on air, off air, is continue to grow and continue that personal development. And obviously you're teaching me about meditation. And again, I'm a student, and I think that's the beauty.
Likewise, brother, of you.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think that's the beauty of when we're saying why we're here is really just being a student of life.
Yes, sir.
And how do you get to that point of being a student of life? How do you get to that point of finding your purpose if you don't already know what it is? Maybe you have multiple purposes. You probably don't just have one. There could be
Right.
multiple reasons or multiple purposes why you're here. But and I thought of a question. What I wanted to ask, brother, since we're speaking of why we're here in purpose, if today were your last day, what kind of legacy would you want to leave behind? And when I say last day, your
Mm.
last day on earth, what kind of legacy would you want to leave behind?
Just the art of giving, man. It's just the art of being, you know. Um, whether that, and I say it really, really broad because everybody has their own way of filling in that gap in terms of that why, you know, that state of being. Like, I'm gonna be great at XYZ. I'm a great plumber. I'm a great um, contractor. You know, I know how to build the best buildings in the world. I know how to fly the best airplanes. I've designed this airplane. I have one of the best records in the world. You have to. I think if you lead with love and that sounds so overly a lot of people over exaggerate this process, but where I'm coming from is very simple. It's like if you do what you love, you don't have to work. You don't have to work a day in your life. It's just not. You don't need to.
Absolutely, brother.
Because you just love them. You're loving what you're doing. It's always work, obviously. Hello, it's always work, man. Nothing is easy. Success doesn't come easy, and we're realizing that every day as we reach for the stars. That's what I say instead of sky's the limit.
Yep.
I said reach for the stars now. And so the legacy that I would like to leave, if I can make it as clear as like in this present moment, because my legacy may change in the not so distant future, right? So if I could say what is my legacy now, to help people become greater versions, of themselves, and if I can inspire others to do the same, create a pathway to, somebody like myself who comes from the Bronx, New York, didn't have much, used to see my mother, on welfare in the beginning phases of our life before life became beautiful for our family.
For sure, man.
Yeah, it breaks my heart, man, every time I think about it, to be honest with you. But, I remember it now, like people knocking on the doors, bringing us meals. It's the hardest time, and I didn't realize it at the time, but I always knew in the back of my mind and my soul there was something wrong with that. What was wrong was the fact that we were not in the best place. But now I understand why that was. And so, legacy, inspiring others to reach for the stars, always being great, understanding your purpose. Pick a passion. Once you find a passion, go fucking get it. Don't play yourself. Go get that shit, man.
Absolutely,
go get it,
brother.
You have to go get it. Because if you don't get it, guess what? You ain't gonna get it.
Manifest it.
Yeah. Guess what? You'll know. Exactly. You will not.
For sure, brother.
Have it. And thoughts become things. We say this all the time for a reason. I'm not saying this for no reason, guys. Like, we love what we're doing. Like this podcast, every step, every single element, every single particle of this journey is for
like
a reason.
Layered cake.
Yeah, man. Like
literally, it's building layers, layers and layers and layers.
It's fucking real, guys. And sorry, we're cursing a little bit more because we're starting to get more loose. We told you we're going to get loose.
Well, right, exactly. But here's the thing. When you're not real, people can sniff it out. Okay. And I said that before we ever started this podcast. The very first thing is I said we need to be vulnerable.
Yes.
You mentioned transparency.
Yes.
And we need to be real. Okay.
Yes.
Because people don't need us to jump on here or anyone to jump on here and say some shit that's fake that truly isn't how we feel. Because again, all of these things are our perspective. But at the end of the day, as you talked about earlier, being a mirror, we're so many people are a mirror of one another around the world. But the thing is, they don't verbalize it. Okay.
Yes.
And again, to some degree, how do you verbalize it? But when having a platform like ours to speak our perspective,
Right.
and allowing us to speak our truth,
Mm-hmm.
and again, helping those around the world, because these are things that, again, the words that are in your head,
Mm-hmm.
we're trying to help with those, as well as, again, as I keep saying, help ourselves, because
Right. Right.
tomorrow could be my day where I'm in a negative state, or hey, the rest of the week is, sunshine and rainbows, which is what,
Absolutely, man.
hey, we all would want. As I mentioned, being happy,
Yeah.
happiness is wealth. Um,
Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Stay there. Whoa, stop. Say that again.
Happiness is wealth, brother.
Why? For you.
For me, because I could have all the money in the world, brother.
Mm.
That,
I already know where you're going.
that does not mean I'm going to be happy. Okay, I could be absolutely
Facts.
miserable. I could have the biggest square footage house. I could have all the cars. I could have yachts, and I could be absolutely miserable.
Right.
And eventually, like I said in the last episode, eventually you get to a point in your life, it's not about the materialistic things.
Right.
Okay, you get to a point where it's, as I said before, it feels like a bailout, and you're just like, hey, I just want to be happy in this
Right.
moment
Right.
in time. You start, we all become visionaries at that point in our life, where you start, in a sense, almost kind of envisioning yourself like in this state of happiness,
Right.
whatever that looks like, whether
Mm-hmm.
that's you getting your own house, or you wanting to go on a vacation and living on an island, or whatever that may be, you buying a new car, if that's what makes you happy.
Right.
It comes back to some form of happiness. But what I was going to
Facts.
ask, brother, and again,
Oh, it's funny. No, I'm sorry. Sorry.
go ahead, brother. Go
Now,
ahead.
now I got a question for you because, like,
Yeah, for
it's
sure.
you seem, and I know I've known you for a very long time. It's evident, obviously. Any listener, they know that we're brothers.
For sure,
Um,
brother.
but obviously, I wasn't with you every single night. Every single day, every single time you had a conversation with your mother or your father.
Mhm. Yep.
Were they? And I would assume so if I know Mama D. But
Yep.
I just want to clarify, like, was she or he or anybody in the family or everybody in the family, was your family like supportive of your dreams at um, whatever dream you set? Well, in terms of support, like, were they go get your dream or college education and then go get your dream? How was that process for you?
Great question,
And
brother.
there's no judgment on this. Obviously, this doesn't matter. Every journey is
No,
different.
no.
So
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So I'll mention it again, but I did not. So when we're talking parents, and I know you know this, but for our
Mhm.
listeners, my mother was a single mother. I was not under the umbrella of my father, meaning umbrella of my father and mother.
Yeah, yeah,
Living together under the same roof. For different reasons, not reasons of my mother itself. But I would
right.
say, in terms of dreams, my mother always pushed me to be better. Now, I'm just being honest, because I said I would speak my truth. I was bullheaded. And when I say bullheaded, I was very stubborn in certain things that my mother tried to push me in. And when I say certain things, like, let's say, I'm just trying to give an example, like sports or something. Obviously, my favorite my favorite sport is basketball. But if my mother said, "Hey, why don't you try football?" I was like, "No, I don't want to try that." So I will say, for me, yes, when it comes to dreams, any dreams that my mother, because I speak for her specifically, like I said, I didn't have my father in my life, um, which definitely affected me personally in many different ways. And
Hmm.
a lot of people around the world can understand that. But thank God I did have someone like my mother to say, hey,
Hmm.
shoot for the stars. You can be anything you
Yeah,
want to be, with true grit and determination. Because I think that's another thing,
absolutely.
to tell someone they can be anything they want to be, which is true. There is going to be some challenges. But
Hmm.
for me, yes, in terms of dreams, she always told me to shoot for the stars. Her favorite, even to this day, she always says, and I quote her,
Let's see if I
I
remember this
all
one.
she always says this, I always knew you had it. Doesn't matter what.
Yeah, I know this one.
She always says that. Even to this day, I always knew you had it.
Yeah.
And again, it's basically, she saw something in me way early on that certain things I didn't see. And
Mm-hmm.
again, that's part of having that connection with your child and understanding your child. And yeah, she would say, even to this day, I mean, if
Can
I
I?
did something, yeah,
Mm.
go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
No, no, no. Finish that, and I'll say it.
No,
Yeah.
no, I was going to say, whatever, accomplishments that I continue to have in my life, she will
Mm.
still say it. I always knew you had it. And that short statement just fused me to no end, because if you will, it's almost a booster. And sometimes we need that in our life, to where you have just that one comment that can just make you
Yeah.
feel like you're just
Absolutely. Absolutely.
flying to the moon.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're like, wow, like even though you could bust your ass and do whatever in
Yeah.
your
There's
life
always the
and
potential
work
of that. Yeah.
right, there's just, again, for me, as I mentioned before, my inner circle, you, my mom, my
Yeah.
brother, my grandmother, um yeah, her saying, i I always knew you had it. I was like, wow,
Mm-hmm.
that's just always been
Can
impactful.
I
But
can I
anyway,
can I
but yeah,
can I
you're gonna
say
ask me
can I say
something, brother.
something? I just want to say something in regards to that. Like, um, first of all, I can relate. My parents also saw things that were great in me, you know. And brother, you're one of the most talented singers I've ever met.
I
Yeah,
try,
I
brother.
have to. I have to say, with an abundance of confidence that it's just as a pleasure to hear you sing as it is for you to hear me sing.
Oh,
So I
1,000,000%,
honestly
brother.
enjoy you singing. Not that you're singing to me personally, but
Right.
it sounds
Singing
weird, right?
together,
Dude,
right.
that's a little weird, man. Stop singing to me, bro. It's too much. But it's just like it's like, dude, man, like, like I love lyric and melody, and you know, so it's always as talented as you are. In other words, like, um, can you say, um, what when they say that you had it, what was that you had, that they saw, that you've discovered now, and that you're still discovering now onto the future?
Then and now,
Yes, sir.
as they say. um Talent.
Okay.
That's what comes to my mind. And when I say talent, I've mentioned before, talent to have this comedic mind. And speaking of my biological father, I know I 100% get that from my dad. I love my dad.
I
Even though I
met
didn't
him.
grow up
I
with.
remember
Yeah,
meeting him in
you met my
Baltimore.
father. Yeah, you met my father. So it's
Awesome.
that. So I won't even say that. Like, it's not like I didn't know my father. I knew my father. But
Yeah.
again, just speaking my truth on here.
Hmm.
Which, again, these are facts you already know. But
Yeah, of course.
that is where I get my comedic gene from, is my father. So, even
Mm.
for us, we can sit on the phone for hours and it's him making all the jokes. But yeah, I would say it comes back to when my mother has said to me, I always knew you had it. It
Mm-hmm.
has been just ability to really just shine in life.
Right, right.
In anything I do. And when I say, when I got my first car, did it
Mm.
on my own, had no help. I always knew you had it.
Facts.
When I climbed up the ladder, and still trying to climb up the ladder in terms of in the corporate world, I
Mm.
always knew you had it. When I finally completed my bachelor's degree, I always knew you had it.
That's powerful, man.
All of these things. Um, Not that I didn't see it myself, but it's just those, every time those words come
Mm-hmm.
back. And
Yeah.
doing this podcast with my best friend, I always knew you had it.
It makes me happy, man.
It's just these talents, brother, that, and I said before in previous episodes, it's like having dormant energy, because I know, as you mentioned before, our journeys were different, man.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't take the singing route, even though
Yeah, yeah.
I could have, and God knows, we could talk about that for hours in terms of, me coming and doing
Yeah,
music with you, and obviously we did in the beginning, and eventually you moved away, and
yeah.
the rest is history, where you continued your journey and I didn't. But at the same rate, I think it's also to know your journey's not over. Don't ever forget that. Whoever's listening to, your journey is not over. I don't care who you are. I don't care what your age is. Your journey's not over. Don't feel
Right.
like because you can. because you can be greater.
I like that, man. It's powerful.
There's always room. Don't let anyone
Even
tell you
even
you can't be
even
great.
even when you feel it the most, it's where you don't feel great. It's just like um it's like a fuck, man. It's a fuck moment. Like, oh fuck.
For sure, right? For sure, for sure,
You know,
brother.
like, I just say it raw because, like, it's just something that um I've seen so much, man. You know what I mean? And um yeah, as grad graduating from that point, and where you reach a point, like, and this is for me, like, I reached a point in my life where I'm just like, forget it. Like, listen, F it, dude. Like, if I don't do what I love every single day, and if I don't let the world hear what I do every single day, then there's no reason why am I here. I'm fulfilling a purpose that doesn't make sense.
For
Okay.
sure.
And so, like, and I'm realizing that more now than ever, since the moment I became a father. Okay.
I got a question for you, and it
Yes,
just
sir.
came to me.
Sure.
Do you feel like you're capable of being greater, and
Yeah.
why?
Yeah. You could always become a greater version of yourself if you, a realize, number one, you are not perfect. There is always room for improvement. You do have the ability to um, gain certain life hours. For example, people call it flight hours in aviation. Some
Yep.
people call it, flight time.
Yep.
Others call it just life experience. For me, it's just the journey experience that I've been able to have, where you know you know you know Devin, what makes me the most happy, when I have my son with me, which is every week. Thankfully, I'm so thankful that I get to see my son every week.
Absolutely,
The
brother.
mom and I are not together anymore, and but I give her so much. I respect her so much because she's such a, despite our differences in the past, things like that, she is an incredible mother. I have to give her that.
It's awesome, brother.
Yeah, I have to give her that, and and to this day, facts, man. Like, as a friend, or as a fellow colleague, in terms of that being my son's mom, I
Yep.
would take a bullet for her. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, brother.
If I knew that my son would be healthy, you know. So, um, yeah, man, there's always room to be greater, and
For sure.
to be great, you have to stop worrying about what people think.
Which is a challenge in itself, because
Absolutely.
we can all be guilty of it, and
Yeah.
you're wondering what the next person is thinking about you,
Yes.
whether positive or negative. But yeah, that's a challenge, and sometimes it can be even in your as
Yeah.
I say, quote unquote, your in group, the people that
Yeah.
you're closest
Exactly.
with,
Exactly.
and oftentimes that is what you're wanting to know, more or less, what they're thinking about you.
Correct. Yeah.
And again, I know I already said it, but
Of course.
for me, and it just took me right back there, when I'm, I guess, in that state of mind where I'm wondering what my mother's thinking, which I know she's always thinking positive, so it's never any, or even my brother. But again, when I do get that, words of affirmation, which even we one day we'll have to speak about love languages, the
Oh,
five love languages.
I'm excited about that one. Yeah.
It's a powerful book,
Yeah.
and
I
one of
heard this
them
one.
is words of affirmation,
Yes,
which is
sir.
actually one of my love languages.
Mm,
So it's putting it out there. That's one of them. But
powerful.
yeah, my mother telling me, I always knew you had it. That's words of affirmation to me. And that's just so powerful for me. And it's not like I need a reassurance of why I'm here, but having even now, having feedback of people explaining to us, hey man, you guys are doing great on your podcast. Hey, this is really touching us here or there. That's for us right there. That's a purpose.
Yeah.
There's that purpose right there. And that doesn't mean that this is our only purpose, because again, you can have multiple purposes, but that's truly what we want to do through this, along with learn from people through this journey of our podcast, but having that ability to touch someone that we don't even know, that we don't even see,
right,
is absolutely amazing.
What makes you the most emotional? And when you go through the journeys of your life right now as we speak, what makes you the most sensitive to this process of self-transcendence?
My children.
Okay.
Absolutely my children. I view the world so much differently. And I mentioned it before when I held my oldest kid, my oldest daughter, I got 2 daughters, changed me forever. Right. Because my whole, if you want to say reason for living, is to show my kids the world and right. give them everything I can, give them all that I can. My legacy to them, if this were, and going back to the question I asked you, if this were my last day on earth, never give up. Because damn it, Daddy has been through some shit.
Yeah.
I promise you that.
Amen. I see.
And I will share that with them so that they know as they get older, hey, you can get through it. But it's right. This thing called life. Damn it, it's got some valleys.
Yes.
Some hills and some valleys. And sometimes it feels like when I was one day, me and you were talking, I said, man, and I was going through, like I said, 2020 has not been an easy year.
Yeah, it's been crazy, man.
But by no means, for me personally. And I felt like climbing up a sand dune, man. And another thing happened. And it's just like somebody pushed me down.
Right. Oh.
And I gotta dig my feet. And it's very hard to climb up sand. So that's why I'm using sand as an example.
Perfect metaphor for this. It's a perfect metaphor for this. Yeah.
And you're trying to climb up, a sand dune, and you're trying to dig your feet in, and it's like somebody punches you in the gut, and I say someone, but life has its way, of things happening to you. And it's like, man, can I really dig my feet in this sand again and try to climb up this damn hill? Because I think another thing that, and just being honest, we all get tired, man. Sometimes you just get tired and you're like, I can't in that moment in time, or you can feel like I just can't do this anymore. I just can't do it. So when I come back, if I ever have those thoughts in my head, outside of having, yourself and my family, which again is everyone that's in my in group, it comes back to my kids. Mm-hmm. I can't let them see Daddy not try his best, not give his all, because again, it comes back to that legacy for me. What if I give up? I'm just showing how easy it is to give up.
I love your strength, brother. It's powerful. It's it's something that I live every day as well. So it's I see my son every day, and almost every day, but it's the same exact thoughts that I have. Like just being there, being a guide. I'm your guide, son. And mine fucks me because this little dude is calling me daddy. This little dude looks just like me. Hey, yo, hey, Dad, what's up, man? It sounds crazy. I know it's hilarious. Right. It's hilarious, but you see a little human. Hey, Daddy.
Right.
And your kids, your daughters, Daddy. Two right. beautiful daughters that you have. You have the most beautiful daughters in the world.
Absolutely, man. I
You
love.
know,
I know I said in the last episode I do. So
yeah,
if you ever hear me say peanut heads,
yeah, that's
that's
what
my
that
two
means.
daughters. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's who I'm referencing.
you go
Is my daughters. So
exactly. Yeah, it's you know, we adore our little humans, our little
for
baby
sure.
humans that are mirrors of us. Yeah. Um, but I really admire your strength, brother. Cause like, you know,
I appreciate it, brother.
you're in a
As
different
well as
state.
well as well as you.
Yeah, you know, and you don't get to see them every day for reasons for that, you know.
Correct.
And you're not in the same state as them at this point, or they're in the same state at this point.
No. They're in a different state. But
Okay, I actually didn't know.
yeah.
I
No,
thought there
yeah.
was
So
tears, kind of. Okay,
no. So they're in a different state. But
okay.
yeah, I travel back frequently because again,
Mm-hmm.
I have to be present. You know, for
Yeah,
me
absolutely.
to visually, you can see me. I joke with both of them, but like,
Yeah,
hey,
yeah, yeah.
we're not on FaceTime, and I think yeah, that is important for going back to why I'm here. That's why I get up every day. There's multiple reasons, but that's why I strap my boots on. You know, not literally, but mentally strap my boots on and hey, it's go time because those little peanut heads need me.
Yeah, my son
There's
needs
nowhere,
me.
it's nowhere around it. And I know me and you were talking about this the other day. I think what's cool with this, I said with our podcast,
Yeah,
it's almost like a diary. So hopefully one day, when our children get old, they can look back and say, "Oh man,
yeah, yeah, no doubt.
they did it." And
Uh,
there's no better euphoric feeling for me than to show them that things are possible. And even doing this,
correct.
this is showing them like, hey, my best friend, his best friend,
Right,
two
right.
brothers across the pond, as I said before, big ass pond. You're in Germany, I'm in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
Things are possible, baby. And when I say
Mm,
baby to my two young peanut heads, okay, it's possible. And
right.
just expand your mind, grow, self-develop, and you'll get there. But
Yes,
those valleys are going to be waiting for you. And I
yes.
don't know what those are. And I said in the previous episode, if I could move them around the cones of life, I would do it, but I can't because that's part of the layers of
Oh,
life.
that's fuck. It's so deep. You know, it's not the first thing that that comes to my mind is like you. I always the first thing I say um to my son in spirit because he would and the reason why I say in spirit opposed to in person because he doesn't understand. He's 6 years old. So
Yep.
your children are same
Same. Yeah, my
age.
oldest is 10 and youngest
Yeah,
is 6. So
yeah.
time's flying.
Yeah,
Going a little too
exactly.
quick for me at
Yeah, a
times.
little.
But
Hello, thank you. Have a nice day.
right.
The first thing I think about is, damn, whenever there's a pain that's happening for them, whenever my son is experiencing a pain or a bit of turmoil of any form, I'm always thinking, man, I wish right now I can remove this pain from you, son or daughter,
Yep.
so that you don't have to experience those things. But truth is, they have to go through it.
They have to, brother.
And
Even though we don't want them to, they have to.
and yeah, and I think about it a lot, man. Like, why if we could take our pain from our children away so that they have a better life, you know, then they'll have a better life. But that's just really not how it works because it gets deeper than that, right?
For sure.
Um, and there's gonna be situations where our children are gonna face trials and errors and just life, and they have to figure it out. And one thing I've learned in that process, besides breathing deep and seeking peace, besides um, turning thoughts into words, besides um, a lot of things. It's you have to you cannot worry about what you cannot control.
Absolutely, brother.
And
Absolutely. Couldn't say it any better.
it's it's crazy, man. It's crazy stuff.
It
So
is. It is.
yeah,
Powerful stuff.
we get into
Again,
deep shit. I know.
no, I know exactly that. But hey, this is again,
That's how we talk.
this is how we talk. I can't say it enough.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
which is again, it's beautiful to share this with the world. It's beautiful
Right,
to
exactly.
express our feelings on various topics,
Yeah.
whatever those
I
may
really
be.
love our work. I really love what we do. It's so cool to
It's
be able to
amazing.
speak with you every day and converse and just talk about, we say it all the time, real shit.
Correct.
You know,
Why? Because
relevancy.
the reason why it's so important, and I know I already said it, brother, because people are going through real shit. Life is
Right now.
not
Right now.
now as we speak
Absolutely.
around the world. So hopefully having, us, as that anchor, if you will, to get
Correct.
them through that and say, hey, damn, okay, they're going through this. And again, as we said in this pandemic, we're still in it.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a continuation of speaking of how we feel in this moment of time. It is therapeutic for both of us. Hopefully it's therapeutic for other people listening to us so that we can hopefully get them through their next days and their next weeks, because we're still in this. And again, we will get through it, but I think it is important. It is super important that, we express how we feel, because we're truly helping people along the way. And that brings us more joy than we could ever express into words on this podcast, because
absolutely,
as you mentioned, we do put a lot of time and effort into this, but it truly is to, at the end of the day, I know we say it all the time, somewhere in between, uplift you. That truly is our why, if you will. Is to uplift,
I know what you
or
meant,
not
dude.
upload, right? Uplift our listeners. And again, this is also uplifting us, because that's the cool part. Just us having this banter and dialogue back and forth.
Correct.
We love it, and it just makes us feel better, and again, gives us a sense of purpose. So,
and this is exactly why we do this, right? And
for sure, brother.
there's no other reason. For me, like, when you come into this line of work, in terms of just wanting to talk about great things and the ability to heal. When you go into the line of work of healing people, healing yourself in the process of that healing.
Yep.
Because you're gonna discover things about yourself that you also need to correct and things like that. You learn very quickly that you learn who your friends are, who are not your friends. You learn who's there for financial gain, who's there for fame, who's there for whatever, who's there to really be there for you, who's there to be your rock, who's there to be everything that you couldn't possibly imagine. And so if I could ask you one last question in regards to this concept,
sure, brother.
because it's evident that you've arrived at your purpose in terms of what you would like to do for this world. How can I word this? In the future, next 5 to 10 years, for example, what would you like to see improve for the world if you had the ability to step into that chair of life awareness, self-awareness, and just, what can you do if you look at it from for the future? What would you like to do to improve the human experience as well as yourself?
For sure. I think just the connectedness amongst people. And again, we're connected, and I said this already, through social media, but just the connectedness is so important.
Yeah.
Don't forget how important it is to have in-person human interactions.
Correct.
Because as we venture into 5 or 10 years, we're slowly pulling back, pulling back, pulling back, pulling back.
You're right. That's true.
And when I say pulling back, less human in-person interactions.
Right.
So I think for me, if there were anything that I would say to that, as much as we can, try to keep intact that in-person human connection, because it's so important. We can't let, and it's easier said than done because technology is moving at an absolute rapid pace. And again, as we've said before, we're technology enthusiasts to where we enjoy so much of it. I've enjoyed it since I was a kid. I remember going to Radio Shack and spending hours in Radio Shack. Radio Shack's not even around anymore. That was my best buy.
Is it really gone?
I think it's gone. It may be still around.
Have I been gone that long?
I haven't seen. Right, you're right. Have I been in jail that long? It's like you're just coming back to get rehabilitated to the world.
Right.
Have I been gone that long?
Thankfully, Germany is actually very beautiful, I must say. Right. So I know you've never been here, but it's
no. But there's a thing called Google. But I'd still rather wait.
Why did you say that? Love you.
I'd still rather wait till I get over there, though.
Well, this is what I'm here to tell you, brother. Like, obviously, I'm the product of that example, and there's speculation, there's history that's fed to us along the years, and perceptions and concepts that are built over time, over a timeline of what certain generations should know and what should not know. And so, I think for us, like, once you come over here, you'll see right away. Your brother's still alive. I'm still thriving. I'm still.
I hope that's true. I hope it's not a doppelganger. Your brother's still alive. I get over there. I'm like, who the hell are you?
Come on, shut up.
Hey, it's not Nelson. I don't know who you are. You don't have a Morris Jones shirt. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm a musician. We're musicians.
Right,
what are you gonna do?
I don't know who you are, brother.
Yeah, no, but I'm really Morris Jones. No. Shout out to Peter Coons, who's one of the he's the creator director of Morris Jones. He's a phenomenal human being, and it was a pleasure to work with him on that project. So I just got to give him a quick shout out since I am wearing his shirt on the podcast. Sure. Wasn't planned, by the way. It was just a random shirt that I chose, but it also has meaning to me because I was a part of a great project. And it went really well for the most part. So thank you for that, buddy.
Good, brother.
So I think you answered that question really well.
Good.
I think we gave him a really nice part 2 to episode 7 of why.
I hope so. Because
we were a lot deeper into this, dude.
We did. Hopefully, we didn't get too long-winded, but I think
it's whatever.
We definitely knew after recording the first one that we had to go into a part 2, and I think that's the beauty of
sense, yeah.
Exactly, and I think that's the beauty of having our podcast is there's going to be times where it's just not enough that we can squeeze, meaning enough information that we can squeeze, or at least our perspective on whatever that information that we want to discuss in one episode. So it can be a multi-part episode, which is what this is. So this is technically our first multi-part episode. So pretty cool to have, part 1 and this is part 2. But what I will say is this leads me into the quote of the day.
I'm smacking my mic.
Don't break your mic. Right. If you break your mic, we can't record, or at least you have to get another mic. So we need the mic. Right.
No, sorry. I hit it again.
Leave it alone. Put your hands on your lap. Don't move.
Yeah.
But the quote of the day, we're going to change it up because normally
which quote are you reading?
I would normally read a quote in terms of something I found, someone, influential, someone who was famous, whoever that may be.
By the way, guys, I don't mean to cut you off, D, but he never tells me which quotes he's going to, because he's in charge of this. He's the one that's giving the quotes, as you guys have probably already noticed, 7 episodes deep. So there's times I say 90% of the time, I have no idea which quote he's going to use. So I'm actually really curious what he's going to say right now. Let's hear it.
So, all right. Well, here goes the quote of the day. Up it looks like it's gonna be Nelson. So it's actually
Oh
you,
my
brother.
God, dude.
It's something you
Okay.
said that you shared with me,
The last
and
week, you mean?
you're right, exactly,
Oh
brother.
shit.
You're right. You shared it with me,
Okay.
and now I want you to share with the world because I thought the quote
Okay.
was very impactful, and it
Thank
touched
you.
me, and hopefully again it'll touch our listeners. So yeah, I'll let you take it away because normally I would say the quote of the day, but I'm not going to try to do your own voice, so you can do your own or say it in
Yeah.
your own voice.
Yeah,
So there
yeah,
you go.
of course, of course. Or I can go like this,
Yeah,
whatever you want.
don't do that.
No, no,
We're gonna scare them.
that's weird.
Right.
Um, um, I'm trying to remember what I said exactly. Wait a minute. Don't tell me because I know you're looking at it in front of you. But
No, I'm not looking at
I
anything. I'm looking
remember.
directly at you.
Okay, yeah, I think I remember. Yeah, guys, when you're going through something in life that's absolutely of hindrance to you, whether it be good, whether it be bad, whether it be a fun experience, or it's teaching you to be a better version of yourself. Again, the same shit we talk about all the time. Um, it's something. There's gonna be times in your life where you have a lot of discomfort because it's taking you out of your comfort zone. And so I was thinking one day, I was speaking to a friend of mine the other, say a couple of weeks ago, and she had said she had a quote of hers that she created, and I'm like, damn, I never thought to create my own quote, you know. And she hit me with this one, and I was just mind blowing. We're not gonna share it today, but we'll share it
Yep.
on another episode.
Oh yeah.
And also Devin has one as well, but we're gonna throw you guys off and show you at a later time. But
Yeah.
um, it just mind blew me. I never thought about doing something like this. And so I thought immediately, okay, what is the main thing you can say now, Nelson, that you've experienced that allowed you to be present in a very uncomfortable situation where you were able to thrive still at the end of the day? You know what I mean? And
Yep.
and so the first thing, and it comes to me in flashes. I can't explain this process, but as soon as I close my eyes, I start going into manifestation mode, and then sometimes there's like light flashes, boom, 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 boom. It just hits me, and then boom, I capture the thought, and the first phrase that I thought in my mind was, which is the quote that I wrote down, and I was mind fucked because I was like, damn, I didn't even. That's crazy. I was even shocked that I thought about that.
Yep.
Um, and the first thing that comes to my mind was, learning to be comfortable in uncomfortable situations is one of fear's greatest conquerors.
Say that again.
Okay, learning to be
Yep. I'm a
comfortable
Yep.
in
Go ahead.
uncomfortable situations is one of fear's greatest conquerors. And
So break that down. What do you mean by that?
yeah, so the first thing I think about was when I was in the process of getting my record deal and things like that. It's very discomforting. You have to sing all the time. You have to get up on the drop of a dime. I walked around with my guitar like it was my rifle. As my lifeline. This is my shield. This is what I'm gonna win with. My rifle, my voice, and I'm gonna win. I'm gonna do what I love. And it was my go-to um, to win a war, so to say, meaning a battle to convince somebody that I'm able to be the next star. And I use this because it's this example because it's very dear to my heart, and because it's just something that really touched my heart, man. And there were many times I was so scared, Devin,
Oh yeah, man.
frightened, fucking frightened of this world. You understand?
Yeah.
And frightened. And eventually, I had to understand the ability to say, fuck it. Let's go. Let's be courageous. Let's be great. Fuck it. Let's go get it now. I had to learn this, Devin. So out of all the years that I've been experienced, there was many times where I had to face a lot of adversity, where I was put in a situation where I was extremely uncomfortable, but I had to learn to be comfortable inside of this uncomfortable realm. And I had to make a decision that, you know what, man, like that doesn't ruin me. I'm great. And
Absolutely, brother.
this is what inspired that, like thoughts become things. You're beautiful. I'm beautiful. You have a gift. Whatever it is, you're gifted. If you haven't seen it yet, eventually you're gonna tap into that potential. And I tell you one thing, man, once you tap in that potential, it's like a fucking drug. It just takes you by the balls, takes you by the heart, takes you by the mind, takes you by the soul. And you don't know how to turn around from that. So learning to be comfortable in uncomfortable situations is one of fear's greatest conquerors, because fear has the ability to paralyze the mind, the soul. It doesn't allow you to be self.
Fear of the unknown.
Yes. And this is people's main problem. They're frightened. Fuck that. We're great. And that's what inspired that.
Great, and go be great.
Yes, sir.
So,
absolutely.
Powerful, brother.
Yeah, man. That's real stuff.
Man.
Oh my God, this episode is insane, dude.
We were
not planning that. You said part 2, but damn, this is part like through.
2/3.
I went through something.
Right.
Part through. Like I've been.
Oh yeah, part through. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I've been through something that, like, damn, that is magic, brother.
I couldn't say any better, brother.
And I give credit to Devin, because, like, we were going to talk about something totally different in this episode when we planned it originally. And, Devin was like, you know what? No, we should really continue on part 2 of why we're here.
I felt it on my spirit.
Yeah. And the way he said it, the way he conversed it with me, I couldn't disagree with him. And this is how we are normally. Like, we really don't. I've been, out of the 20 years I've known Devin, we've been in one argument, and we were 13 years old, and it lasted like literally half a day.
If that, probably felt more like probably an hour.
We've never argued. We've never. It sounds ridiculous, guys. I know to anybody that's been friends for a long period, like, come on, man, y'all at least threw hands once. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, nah, motherfucker, we didn't throw hands, man. I'm trying to tell you, we're weird. No, I'm just kidding. We're not weird, but we found a way.
Weird in a good way.
Yeah, of course. We figured out a way to overcome that adversity.
Absolutely, brother.
And this is why, like, what did your mom say to, she said something really powerful today to you, and you gave me the message. I really need you to share it before we close out this episode, brother.
For sure. I think the biggest thing is that she's taken away from listening to, I think she's on like episode 3 or 4. So she's
still catching up. Yeah.
But she's still catching up. But from what she did say, one, she did say she's proud of us. So I definitely want to put that on air, which means a lot to both of us.
Absolutely.
Secondly, is she said this is going to change the world, and keep pushing forward. And as well as she said, I think the last thing she said, because it was a quick conversation. The last thing she said was, I think you guys have found your niche. And that just, again, as I mentioned earlier, that boost, that was an additional boost, if you will, because I know for me and you, we both one another's spirits continually each day. we're always boosting one another's spirits to just new heights. But yeah, having her, make those comments, took me back to, I already said it, but I'm going to say it for both of us in this time is
I have a feeling
she always knew we both had it.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of just me, she always knew we both had it. So, but that's what I got, brother.
That is amazing.
Powerful stuff, man. So,
you know what, guys? So, listen, you guys see the pictures that we're posting on social media. You see that we've been friends for many years. You see that this is real. And guys, man, like, we're proof in the pudding that life is possible.
Absolutely, man.
Life is possible. Thoughts become things, and again, whatever we talk about, but guys, thank you so much for watching us today and listening to us today at the same time, because we do visuals. We're also on YouTube, and we want to give everybody the opportunity to visually and auditorily, be able to have this opportunity to connect with us. And so this is why we do both. So again, if this is your first time watching or tuning in for us for the first time, definitely, subscribe to our podcast. We really love what we do, and
absolutely, please.
And we're just all about speaking that facts. We're all about the facts. Like, let's just get this real shit. Let's talk realness, and share our journeys doing it. So if this is anything that has any merit to you, we love you in advance for that. We're really thankful for
brother.
your energies. Anybody that's listening that's already enjoyed a bit of emotion and laughter and just overall a great experience. We're really thankful for that, and we look forward to doing it and rocking and rolling again on the next episode 8. And Devin, we made it past episode.
We did. We made it to 7.
Yeah.
We made it to 7 and 7 and beyond. So
So we're gonna continue reaching for the stars, and thank you so much for watching.
Yes, thank you.
Take care, guys. We'll see you again.